opportunity here. And in fact, and I've got somebody that's digging into the internals on this, but back in 2010 in the presidential primary, 2008 presidential primary, the Democrats actually outvoted Republicans in the primary by over 1.5 million voters. Now that was a year that Rush was telling people, oh, go vote, vote for Hillary. So we don't know how many of that extra. So I've got some folks that are trying to analyze that so we actually know what that number is. But the point is that they are in here, they are paying people, they bus people in from all over, and have paid people, staffers working on this all the time. And you all have seen on Fox and on various shows where they have people on the ground, the rent-a-mob people, that go around signing up people for SNAP and for all kinds of government benefits. Those are the same people that are signing up people, registering people to vote. So I'm just saying that there is an opportunity, because as I go around the state, when I tell people this, they go, oh, Texas could never. I'm like, don't say it could never. Right. That's why we're here on a Saturday morning doing this.
They are I'm sure you all are aware that we have just uncovered the videos that leaked the fraud with the Obamacare navigators. I was on that team that did those. What hasn't hit the news yet is that the Obamacare navigators were sharing information with Battleground Texas. So people who were getting information about Obamacare were either automatically getting signed up to vote, or their information was getting sent to Battleground Texas, because it is assumed in Texas, if you're looking into Obamacare, you probably lean left. Battleground Texas is following up with those people and saying, hey, make sure you're registered to vote and go vote Democrat. In Travis County, there was one of our activists saw people from Oregon, Washington, California, who were here with Battleground Texas on the ground. They're sharing apartments, deputizing people to register voters. They're at food banks, they're at churches in poor communities, they're registering people to vote at after school programs for government funded daycare.
They're everywhere. Can I add just a moment? If y'all remember when Wendy Davis did her filibuster in Austin, the same people that are on the video that were caught, about the Adrian lady, is the same one. If you sign up with them, which I did, signed up with them, they'll send you the tweets.
Yeah.
They're all working. They all gathered people from outside of Texas and some in Texas to go to Austin. The ones in Houston area, they're still having meetings, weekly meetings. I'm getting texts constantly. We're meeting at so-and-so's at 7:30. They are active, and they're the same people. Like you said, they're using every avenue they can.
The lazy grassroots attitude that Texas got away with in 2010 is what's going to cost the state dearly. For example, I'm working on a congressional race in Dallas, and Wiley, a small town north of Dallas, there's 10,500 registered voters. In 2012, less than 500 voted in the general elections. That's the kind of stats that Battleground Texas drools over. Because if the Republicans are so naive that this state is never going blue, I don't even need to bother to show up to the polls, they are going to win. So it's not about you guys going to the polls and getting active. It's about each one of you needs to go tell a dozen people that this is happening, and they need to tell a dozen people, because we're not going to be able to outspend them. We are not going to be able to get national support for this campaign. This is going to be a true shoestring grassroots campaign. That if we're going to win, it's going to be with our blood, sweat, and tears. It's not going to be with the RNC's money, because we're not going to get it. We're up against the entire OFA liberal machine. I mean, we're really under the gun and behind the 8 ball, and we've got to get on top of this and start tackling it now. And the first hurdle we have to overcome is accepting that we now live in a battleground state.
And where you all can really try to get people engaged, what we're going to try to do in Smith County is convince people who are traditional general election only voters, is to go ahead and get them engaged. If they identify as conservative, we're going to try to get them to be engaged in the primaries, because we have too many people who call themselves conservative that wait to vote in the general election, and in Texas, in many cases, you are picking your strongest candidate to go against a Democrat in the fall, in the primary. And sometimes that wins the race. So we're trying to convince people that you absolutely need to be engaged at the primary level. So I'm gonna let Shane get on with his presentation, but I want to introduce you all to Jim Sperrin. Jim Sperrin is with Grassroots America. He's also GOP precinct chair in Smith County. Wave to him, Jim. And he is going to be really the boots on the ground kind of guy, because I'm out all over the place. And so Jim's going to be working with Stacy and with Shane and with others. So any of you all who are in Smith County, I see several of you here, Jim's going to be your point person for come and take it. And then whenever I'm in town and am able to, then I will be engaged. But we'll be out, you know, promoting, because I'm already promoting the come and take it when I'm out on this other tour. I'm already promoting this to let people wear it, and we don't have enough people to wear it yet.
And that's where we're at right now, is before we get into the nitty gritty of we need to target this demographic, this neighborhood, this street, you know, this corridor, we've got to get people across the state aware first. Every weekend I'm talking to a different group of people who just have no idea that this is happening. So we want to hit the ground running and spreading awareness that this, not only is this happening, but if we don't do anything, the statistics are Texas is absolutely going to go blue by 2020 or 2024, depending on which statistician you talk to. I'm not even that optimistic. If they truly are on track to register 600,000 voters by the general election in 2014, the way that Wendy Davis is polling and ticking up in the polls right now, with all of the national support that she has, Greg Abbott or whoever wins the primary is not going to outspend her. It is very feasible that Wendy Davis could win. It is, the statistics are, it is not outside the realm of possibility. So this is not we can kick the can down the road and, you know, start building firewalls in 2020. This is a now problem. Awareness. I'm willing to send this presentation, whatever you guys need or think you need to spread the word. You have our support. The website we've got set up just to kind of introduce what's going on and have volunteers sign up. You guys as leaders, what we want you to do is we want you to coordinate block walking. We want you to educate your neighbors in your communities. It's a very simple, quick presentation. This is not a complex policy presentation. This is hey, this is happening. We need to do something about it. And it's not hard. It's the conservatives are here in Texas. They're here. We just have to activate them. We don't need to go mint fresh new conservatives. That's part of it. We do need to register new voters, and we always need to appeal to the apolitical types to become conservatives. But right now, where we're at today is the demographics today are on our side. There's enough Republicans that if they all show up to the polls, we're good for now. We need to get them to the polls. The 600,000 new voters that they're going to register and the 2 million that they're trying to register, we're going to stay on top of that. We're going to do that. We're going to have voter registration drives. We need you guys to get deputized to register voters, to deputize people to register voters. We absolutely have to start doing that. We should start doing that now. But the most important thing today is awareness. Because your next door neighbor might be a registered Republican, but hasn't felt the need to vote since 1996.